I should have introduced you as a core of that championship team in 2008 as well, but all of those moves have gone down this summer. I'm introducing that to you now. But which one do you think brings your squad the closest to winning a championship?
Oh, by far it's the Houston Rockets. They're the only team, in my opinion, that's now looking eye to eye with the champs as far as the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had the pieces. They finished number 2 in the Western Conference last year. And what did they lack? They lacked a closer. Jalen Green couldn't be that. Kevin Durant is that. Arguably, in my eyes, the greatest scorer to ever touch the damn basketball. And they're loaded, stacked with wings. Being able to keep their young guys, Torrey Eason, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith, that can play inside out, loves to stretch the floor. They got a Kogi, and they just got great depth, and they got a hell of a coach. I'm looking at the Rockets right now as the second best team in the NBA, and they're inches behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I think it's night and day for us what they've done this offseason for us everybody else.
Well, I'm happy that Perk went out there and made sure to consider the Oklahoma City Thunder because the Oklahoma Thunder have done a great job of bringing their guys back. I know they're excited. They have an exciting group, but I'm looking to see the confidence that comes over them having a chip now. When you start talking about champions and returning to the floor after that, there's a little bit of a swagger and a little bit of a extra oomph that comes with it. And to see Chet, one of these guys that, you know, we saw flashes of it, but we didn't get to see the full thing because he's such a young guy. Like, these are the moments where we start to say, hey, we're about to see the same team about to reign for a little bit. If we're going to see one of those guys come out and do something, it's going to be this year. So I'm excited for them.
Man, y'all need to stop playing.
Here we go.
The Denver Nuggets. Come on, man. Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
Valanciunas.
Yeah.
Who could start for a lot of teams.
Without a doubt.
Got Bruce back. And they took the champs, your champs, to 7 games. They're a problem. They're number 2.
Yeah, they're also in the Western Conference. All of these teams that you mentioned are out west. So I'm going to take a team in the Eastern Conference and say the New York Knicks because they didn't lose a star player to an Achilles injury, right? Everybody else in the East has injuries to deal with. And I like the addition of Mike Brown. I like Jordan Clarkson joining that team. I like Yabusele joining that team. Yeah. I know those aren't big, flashy moves, but in the Eastern Conference, all you got to be is steady and healthy this year.
Right. You really have to be healthy. But bench scoring was a huge issue for the New York Knicks last year. They seem to have addressed that. It's not sexy, but bringing the guys back for Oklahoma City, they are still the champs for
Jordan
a reason.
Clarkson, I love the pick.
We have a jam-packed show this final day of July. Caitlin Clark, does she not get the same whistle as every other W player? Well, her teammate Sophie Cunningham has some thoughts on this one. Hear from her. And Shump, what about age? Is it okay to start calling someone Unk? Can we call you Unk? Because Chris Paul made it clear what his nickname for Kawhi and James Harden is. Wait until you hear that. Plus, what direction are the Pelicans going in? And can Zion be that franchise player that we've all expected to be? And we got a new one. It's courtesy of Fever guard Sophie Cunningham, who on the debut episode of Show Me Something, she showed that she stands up for Caitlin Clark, both on and off of the floor. Take a listen.
You have seen players in our league try to toughen up Caitlin. We call her CC. CC. For even when I wasn't on her team, I know the talks that Phoenix had in the locker room of no, we're gonna prove her, we're gonna show her what the W really is. You know what I mean? And I get it to a certain extent. And every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're gonna treat them. But there's just more for her. So it's her second year, and now being on her team and seeing it, I'm what are people doing? Actually, it's just too much.
I think Caitlin's had a little bit of a target on her back probably since she came into the league. She pushes back, though, Ramona.
Yeah, some of that is just hazing. Some of that is exactly what Sophie said. But I also think that she's defined herself as the enforcer now. And I think the fact that her teammates have her back and they're going to stand up for her is what they've been waiting for. The question is, will the refs?
See, I was sitting 3 rows back from where this happened right here. And then I was sitting right next to the mascot when it got taken out in the Sparks game. So I'm thinking at some point it might be me. Next up, a fine example that if you get on a mic, we will find you this summer, my friends. We mean that with love. Like Atlanta's newest big man, Kristaps Porzingis, This is in Latvian, so this has been translated from the Latvian outlet Sporta Studija. He said, I think expectations are high. It's a great situation for me to come in and contribute, maybe even better than Boston, where it was championship or bust. Iman, can KP make as big of a difference for the Hawks as he did for the Celtics with less pressure?
I think right now KP needs to make sure that he's healthy. I think that's all we expect from him. I do not expect KP to come in somewhere and to change a franchise or to bring something that we haven't seen. I think that he is great at keeping the train on the tracks and doing things when he's healthy, but that's what he needs to make sure that he is available and healthy.
I think both of us think that Atlanta could be very interesting in an open Eastern Conference this year. Drew Holiday, another Celtic that got shipped out of Boston here. Here was a two-time champ on what his expectation is with Portland.
Honestly, it's to win. I feel like that's always been the ultimate goal ever since you started playing basketball, is to win. And whatever that may look like, obviously taking small wins is great, but winning is what we do, is what we play this game for. So if it's getting to the playoffs, if it's winning the championship, I feel like winning is the purpose and the reason why I'm here.
Love kiddos at pressers here. Mark, what direction do you think the Blazers are going?
They're trying to get in the play-in. They feel like they could do that this season because they have a really nice mix of vets and young guys now. And two guys you're going to have to watch the most this season that they want to take a jump is Scoot Henderson and Shaden. And Scoot in particular, you got Chauncey there, you got Dame there, and you got Drew there. They're expecting them to take it to a new level, and Drew's actually excited to be in Portland.
There's a lot of mentorship there for Scoot as well. Speaking of guards, let's check in on another one who was dealt this summer, the newest and the oldest, the seasoned Clipper, Chris Paul. He was seen getting shots up in Las Vegas, fresh off of giving a new age-focused nickname for his new squad in LA. Did y'all hear this?
He said they've been calling us the unction.
Where the function? Where the function?
Oh, nailed by! Put it in the highlight reel. James Harden has gone berserk.
Is this a uncle function?
It's like a function that the uncles, you expect to see the uncles at.
The uncles are pulling up to the function.
There we go.
Rosters aren't finalized. However,
made it up.
The Clippers' projected 11-man rotation will have an average age of 33.4 years on opening night. It's worth mentioning, you're wondering where that stacks up, the oldest team in NBA history weighted by playing time was the 2000-2001 Utah Jazz. That was at 32.6 years old. So those Jazz, they did win 53 games, but you remember they ran out of steam in the first round of the playoffs. Perk, with age comes experience, it comes wisdom. Aging like fine wine is a saying for a reason, but ultimately, is this going to help the Clippers to have this seasoning, let's call it, or hurt them this season when they're trying to compete in a crowded West?
6 years ago, I probably would be all in on the Clippers back when they had the term vets matter. Vets don't matter anymore because these young boys around the league, their opponents, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Houston Rockets, the Detroit Pistons, whoever. They don't give a damn. They don't respect the older guys, and they shouldn't. They're going to go at them. And again, my issue with the Clippers is not only just their health, but their age when it comes postseason time. And can a James Harden, can a Bradley Beal, can a Kawhi Leonard slide those puppies on the perimeter and get stops in an elite conference where you have so many dynamic players? Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, Zion, SGA, the list goes on. So it's going to hurt them, in my opinion, when it comes down, when it matters the most. So I'm not in on the Clippers. Their age is just too old. Vets don't matter no more.
I don't know about saying vets don't matter out loud, Perk, but I hear you a lot when you say that I'm impressed with it when it's written down on paper. But like me and you know, Perk, when you talk about going into the playoffs and making a long stretch, making sure that you guys are in a position to win late in the season, can you get those guys to all be healthy, all be on one accord toward the end? I think that's been the problem with them in the last couple of years, wherever they're at with their respective teams. But I think to have them all together and to get too excited about it when we know what it's about and being healthy and everybody, it take a little bit of luck. But now you're doing it with a guy that's 40. I can't get too excited. I'm always going to be happy to watch Chris Paul play basketball.
I will say this. I covered that Game 7 between the Clippers and the Nuggets, and where James Harden really just ran out of gas. And when you have all these older guys, they're going to make it so they don't have to play that many minutes. Like James Harden was an All-NBA player last year. He played so many minutes, and he ran out of gas in that game 7. He's not going to have to do that this year because he got Chris Paul on the team. He's got Bradley Beal on the team. And I think, they're old, but they're all in great shape, and they can lean on each other.
Somebody to be able to get into their rhythm, they need the ball. So it's like sharing the sugar, I understand as far as health goes, but my concern is rhythm. And seeing a guy like James Harden, he needs the ball to get cooking.
True.
That's the James that we all know and love.
Yeah.
We want him to have the ball.
The system.
Exactly. So it's like with certain things like that, Chris Paul, ball dominant. When you have guys like that, not having them be able to dominate the ball scares me when it talks about being their benefit.
Hey, Aaliyah said age ain't nothing but a number. I'm more worried about them being hurt than their age.
Right.
That's